and welcome everyone who has joined us today. Thanks very much for joining us. It's coming up to 14:02, so I think it is time to kick off. So once again, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Denise Klinker, and on behalf of Everbridge, I'm excited to be moderating our webinar today, 10 Reasons Why Your IT Incidents Aren't Resolved Faster. Before I hand over to our presenter, I'm just going to take you through a few housekeeping rules. So if you could just flip the slide for me. So feel free to submit your questions throughout the webinar using the panel to submit, so do feel free. And we'll have a Q&A session at the end where we'll take your questions. We are actually recording this webinar, and a recording of the webinar and the slide set will be sent to you after the event. So I'm very pleased to introduce our speaker today, our speaker Vincent Jeffrey. He's a Senior Director of Product Marketing at Everbridge, and he has a focus on IT alerting and communications and Internet of Things. And in this session, Vincent is going to discuss how organizations can reduce the incident resolution time and limit the impact of downtime, service disruptions, and other incidents by effectively alerting and escalating to key IT responders, executives, and customers. Other highlights of the session will explain why immediately connecting with employees is critical when there's an IT incident. We'll explain the importance of integrating IT ticketing and monitoring systems with IT alerting to streamline the incident communication process, and we'll offer real-life success stories and teach you how to apply the lessons learned to your particular situations. So without further ado, I'm very pleased to pass it over to Vincent.
Thank you very much, Denise, and thank you for having me. Just a sound check, can you hear me okay? Denise, can you hear me okay?
Yep, sorry,
okay,
yes. Yeah, I can hear you okay.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Welcome everybody. As Denise said, my name is Vincent Jeffrey, and today I'd like to talk to you about why, the reasons why your IT incidents are not resolved faster. So let me get to the agenda for this presentation. So first, I'll talk a little bit about the ongoing digital transformation, what it means for the enterprise, what it means for your customers, for your teams, and for the business. After that, we'll talk about the cost of an IT issue. We'll see that an IT issue today has a pretty big impact on the business, so we want to talk about the cost. And later, we'll talk about how we can mitigate the impact of an IT issue on the business. And number 4, I'll give you the 10 reasons why your incident may not be resolved as fast as you'd like to. And to summarize, I'll share with you 4 takeaways, and I will show you how you can get a free cool t-shirt if you'd like to. So let's get started with my first topic here, which is the ongoing digital transformation. As we all know, over the past 30 years or so, almost everything has gone through a digital transformation. And we all talk about the digital transformation, we all talk about how things have changed, but it's one thing to say it, it's another to see it. So what I wanted to do for you today is to give you a reminder of what life looked like in the early 80s. So what you see on the screen here is a typical desk from early 80s. For those of you who were already born and working, you should remember some of the tools or stuff that we were using at the time, like the calculator, like the fax machine, the tape, the map, the yellow pages to find business contacts, the white pages for residents, so on and so forth. 10 years later, this is how the desk looked like in the mid-90s. So as you see, there's a little bit more room on the desk. we now have a lighter computer, a laptop, with a few applications that we already using. 10 years later, that's 2006. Now you can see most of the things that we were using are already digitalized, and we're already using a bunch of application on our laptop. There's still a few things that are going to go through digitalization, like if you look at the far right side of this picture on the desk, you'll see a Rolodex. And basically the Rolodex is the ancestor of applications such as LinkedIn or Salesforce.com. And if we look another 10 years later, that's today, this is pretty much what the desk would look like today. Actually, this is what my desk as I speak looks like today. I have a laptop and a cell phone, and that's pretty much what everything I need to be able to deliver this presentation today. So, like I said, over the past 30 years, a lot of things that we were used to have been digitalized. And what happened for the desk happened in the enterprise with the IT department. 30 years ago, the IT department was a support function of the business. IT was there to support the business. Usually was in a remote location, remote building, or in the basement of the building, right? We're taking care of the printers, making sure that the fax machines were working fine, the phone lines were up, and so on and so forth. Later in the year 2000s, now we ask IT to align better with the business. And I'm sure you're very well aware of that, because being in the UK, you know that ITIL and the best practices coming with it were actually created in the UK. And so to help IT align better with the business as things were going through the digital transformation. But today, we can really say that IT is the business, since everything companies are doing, or employees, workers are doing, is somehow relying on a computer application. So if we agree that today IT is the business, because everything the business does relies on IT, then when we have an issue with IT, that can translate into a business issue. And I'm going to give you a few examples here. First one, if you are working for a e-commerce company, if you're working for a company that is selling products or services over the internet, then as you may know very well, any issue with the website, should that be a network issue, should that be a application issue, a slowdown of the website, will have a direct impact on revenue for the company. And in the meantime, this is a picture of a potential frustrated customer that's trying to order something from your company online and cannot. Another example will be if you are working with at a hospital in the IT department, or if you're a clinician doctor working at this hospital, if the EMR, the electronic medical record system, goes down or experiences a partial outage or even a full outage, there's going to be a big impact on clinicians and staff. And later on, if the issue stays for a long time, there will be even a patient safety risk, due to the fact that clinicians and staff will have to go back to handwritten notes and orders to do their job. Another example in manufacturing, as you can imagine, if you're working in a manufacturing plant and that the supply chain application has any trouble, then production stops. And if production stops, that means the employee productivity will drop off. And so this is going to impact the business as well as inventory, because the finished goods that were supposed to be produced are not being produced, which may cause delays in customer shipments and so on and so forth. So today, a major IT issue has a direct impact on the business. And there are many studies and research that are available online, so you can just find those research and analysis online very easily, which have actually looked into the cost of those issues on the business. And you'll see that we have a lot of numbers that we can use. We have the total cost of IT downtime per year. We've got you can find the cost per hour. So Gartner is saying that the cost per hour of IT downtime on a company is $42,000. We also have research and data points giving us a rate or a cost per minute. So 5,600 is an average cost for an average company per minute. Same with the number of hours of downtime per year. So as you can see, this is becoming so critical that a lot of companies or firms are looking into this, and companies are putting IT risk as a top priority. So let's go back to the IT department and see really what's happening when we are facing those major IT issues. And one more thing before I talk about this. If you'd like to be able to calculate the cost for your company, and that's an exercise that I usually recommend my customers do, is so you know exactly how much it's going to cost you when IT is down. So this is a simple equation, but there are other equations depending on your industry and what you want to take into account. But this is a simple equation that you can use to give you an idea of how much it's going to cost your business anytime your mission critical IT application is down. And again, this is very useful information when, especially when you have to make decisions in your IT organizations or decisions around the tools and the solutions that you'd like to implement to minimize the impact on the business. So again, what happens when something goes down, when something breaks? So as we all know, it starts with a critical IT failure somewhere in the organization. And a critical IT failure can be an outage, can be any kind of critical disruption of an IT service, can be because an application is too slow, website is too slow, can be because something like for example, the shopping cart or the checkout button on your website doesn't work and creates failed transactions. But it can also be due to human errors, like change management. You've applied a change, or IT has applied a change in production, and this is breaking something else. Can be a application deployment consequence, can be an application failure, can be process or batch process failure or workflow failure. And it can also be a cyber attack, a DDoS attack, or anything related to hardware capacity issue, or even a network interruption. So all those events can create a critical IT failure. And what's going to happen is, first, your IT department is going to receive alerts from the applications, the stack, the servers, the infrastructure, and in the meantime, usually what happens when it's a critical IT failure, the users are going to get frustrated and are going to start complaining about the issue because they cannot perform their job, or they cannot buy from you online. So usually they start calling into the help desk, creating even more tickets for your IT department. They're gonna, if they are online and trying to buy something from you, they may just decide to navigate away from your website and go to your competition. They may even never come back to the website. If it's an internal application, then your employees may just stop working because the system is not available. If it's I like the use case of airline companies, because when their computer reservation system is down, everyone is impacted, because you can't board new passengers on planes. You cannot take any more reservation. You can most of the time airline companies will have to ground all their planes. They will have to dispatch the crews. It is really a very interesting use case in terms of who's impacted and how to mitigate the risk for this airline company. So once your users are complaining and have created a lot of new alerts to your IT department, you are now in a situation where your IT department is bombarded with alerts. And at this point, their job is to triage, categorize, document, and prioritize those issues to know which one should be dealt with first. They will also need to escalate the issue to the right support people or teams, the right engineering teams, the right application teams, and they will also need to answer those end user complaints. And in turn, if the issue is not fixed soon enough, execs at the company, whatever the industry, are going to start getting anxious. If you cannot take any orders online, if your EMR system is down for hospital, if the supply chain application is not working perfectly, if the reservation system for an airline company is down, so on and so forth, then your execs are getting anxious because of the revenue generation, but also the employee productivity, and something that we tend to forget, reputation. The reputation of the company online is very sensitive today, because it's very easy for frustrated customers today to post bad reviews on your company or on your services, and this type of information can spread very, very fast. So this is the playground when something goes wrong with IT. Now, what happened next? What's going to happen next is resolution. And this is what you see here is how Forrester represents the time to resolution, or MTTR, from the detection of an incident to its resolution. So it starts with time to identify. There's some time spent on identifying the issue. So usually companies have already invested in solutions such as application performance management solution, network performance management solutions, and IT infrastructure monitoring solutions, so that they can receive alerts as soon as something goes wrong with IT. Then there's what Forrester refers to as MTTK, the mean time to know. That's the time where we are going to identify the right teams, and within the teams, the right people who should be investigating an issue, getting to the root cause, and putting together a plan for resolution. That's mean time to know. The next step, when we know what's wrong, and we have identified the root cause, then it's going to take usually not a long time to fix the issue, usually applying a patch in production. And then the final phase is going to be the time to validate that the fix that was deployed actually fixed the problem and didn't create any other problems with the application. And what Forrester is telling us is that this second phase here, the mean time to know, takes up to 70% of the overall time for resolution. And what's interesting here is that to realize that this is the only phase that didn't go through automation and optimization of processes. For the three other phases, like I said, companies have invested in detection solutions, but also release management solution to deploy a fix faster, and also automation for testing automation so that the validation can be done faster. But very few things have been done around MTTK or around this second phase to automate the processes and again regain the time that is wasted doing those activities. So what's happening next? We still have the issue. We know there's an issue. We still have the issue. So in a typical crisis communication situation, what's going to happen is someone from the help desk or your incident manager is going to send a blast email, just hoping that someone's going to jump in. And usually what we see is the email is sent to large teams and not very specific to anyone, and they just wait until someone says, okay, I get this one. Then they may set up a conference call, may wait to see to wait for everybody to connect to the conference call so they can start investigating the issue and put a plan together. They may also invite people to a chat ops so that the IT experts and the stakeholders can collaborate. And if they don't get all the required resources, they may just start calling stakeholders or escalating to managers. But as you can see, this is the typical actions or activities that you will see in a crisis, in the middle of a crisis. But as you can see, what if some of your key contributors are away from their desk, so they will never receive the email. They're out to lunch. Again, they will only get the email when they get back to their desk. They may be in a meeting. They may be on the phone already. They may be on vacation, or they may be just sleeping because they are in remote locations, and it's the middle of the night. So these are the typical activities that should happen during this phase of mean time to know. We should use this time to confirm the issue, to determine, to identify who the required subject matter experts are. We should know who's on call. We should formulate a message and a call to action for those participants. We should also determine how we are going to reach out to those subject matter experts. We should make sure that we account for the response from those members. And if they don't answer, we should be able to escalate to the manager or to the next person in line. And again, we should be able to provide easy to use collaboration tools so that people can start collaborating together. And something that we usually forget is, what about the impacted users? How do we tell or communicate with the users that, yes, we know that there is an issue, IT is working on this issue, and we let them know when everything is back up and running? Same for the stakeholders. If we have an issue with the e-commerce application, it may be a good idea to talk to the CMO or to contact the senior VP of sales to let them know that because there's an issue with the website or the web application, there's a risk that revenue is going to be impacted. Having said that, what I'd like to do now is get into the 10 reasons why your incident may not be resolved as fast as you'd like to. Okay? So let's start with the number one reason why it takes a lot of time to fix an issue. And it is about the number of alerts that people are receiving every day. As you, depending on your organization, we see a lot of organizations where trying to reach out to people just means sending an email to the entire IT department. And people are receiving so many alerts that they don't even pay attention to those alerts, right? So again, recommendation here should be the alerts should be escalated to the right people and not entire teams, so you don't create alert fatigue. The messages should be targeted and written for the specific recipient. Number 2, reason why incidents are not resolved faster, and especially in case of critical incidents which impacts your business. You need to have a plan in place. If there is no plan, it's most likely that the organization is going to waste time trying to find out what to do in those crisis situations. And this should be based on the impact to the users. How many customers, how many users are impacted by this IT issue? Can they do the job without this IT application? So what's the sense of urgency? And if you get a high urgency and high impact on your users, then you're facing a major IT issue. And you should have a plan in place so that you know exactly for each application what team is responsible for responding to the issue, and within the team we'll see that you should be able to know who's on call and who you should be contacted. That leads to number 3, reason why incidents are not resolved faster. It's when organizations or help desk or incident managers don't know who to contact. On this example, it's based on a real life example. It's 3:18 in the morning, and we have an issue. So who am I going to call here? Is it the customer support team? Is it what application team? Do we have a critical incident response team I should contact? Is it the network team that I should wake up? Is it the server team? So on and so forth. So another reason why organizations are wasting a lot of time is that because they don't know who to contact based on the type of incident. Number 3, still number 3. It's one thing to know what team is going to be responsible for responding to a critical IT issue. It's another to know who exactly within that team should be contacted and waken up at 3:22 in the morning now. Is Mike the right person to wake up? Or I am sure that he's on call. Is he not on vacation? Or is he in the office? No, I guess he's not. It's in the middle of the night. And on what time zone is he working? So again, making sure that I am going to call or contact the right person. Number 4, another reason why organizations are wasting time, where, like we've seen before, every minute counts. Not using the right communication channel. Emails don't wake up anybody. As we all know, emails don't wake up anybody. So that means, as an organization, we cannot just rely on emails and think that someone's going to receive it, the right person's going to receive it and act upon receiving this email. Recommendation here is not using only one communication channel, but a set of different multimodal communication channel, including SMS, including mobile application, push notifications, including emails, including voice. And even better, if you can set up a cycle, so it's going to first call the person. If the person doesn't answer, it's going to send an SMS. If you still don't have an answer, it is going to send a mobile notifications and so on and so forth. Number 5. Number 5 is when you're dealing with distributed teams. So as you can see here, let's say you have your worldwide headquarters in London, but you have a help desk in the US, you have a customer service team in India, for instance, and your developers are in Beijing, China. Communication. How are we going to reach out to the right people if they are spread across countries, time zones, therefore different communication systems? As you can imagine, if I'm in Beijing, I'm a developer and I receive this international call from I don't know who, I may just not answer because it's international. So the recommendation here is make sure that you have first international coverage, but even more than that, make sure that you have local caller IDs so that the number that is shown on the recipient screen looks like it's a local number, so they are not afraid to answer. Number 6 recommendation, or reason why incidents are not resolved faster. It takes too long to get everybody on the same conference call or to collaborate on the issue. Again, if you're going, or if the organization is going to try to reach out to, let's say, 15 people, let's say we've identified that between the network, the database, the middleware, the application teams, the engineers, maybe people from other departments, service, technical support, and so on, we need 15 people. If I start calling those 15 people to let them know that I have set up a conference bridge for everybody, it's going to take me at least 2 to 3 minutes per person if I'm lucky, if I can reach out to them, if they answer my call. So that's already 45 minutes lost. And again, if you remember that the average cost per minute is in the thousands of dollars, I've already wasted around $60,000 to $70,000 in a matter of 45 minutes. So again, make sure you have an easy way, and even better, an automated way to reach out to the people, and make sure you send them the right information so you don't have to spend time briefing them on the issue. They can just act upon the notification they receive. Number 7, actually number 6 again. Once people have been contacted, you need to know, or the organization needs to know, that they've received the notification, but also that they've answered the notification, so that you know that we know that they're taking care of the issue and actively working on the issue. Number 7, know your stakeholders. This is an example of a cyber attack. So if your company is going under a cyber attack, which, and I hope this is not going to be the case for you guys, leading to a data breach, this is a real-life example as well. As you can see, it starts with a cyber attack in the middle of the night. Internally, the organization is going to contact the critical incident response time, and the CIRT is going to start working on the issue. It is because of the nature of the attack. A few hours later, they may have to reach out to the executive team. If this is a publicly traded company, it's most likely that legal is going to be involved at one point, as well as customer service. Marketing may be contacted as well to be ready to issue a press release, and so on and so forth. So as you can see, stakeholders are not limited to the IT department, and sometimes you need to communicate with stakeholders outside of IT, including all those departments here. So it's important that you know your stakeholders and that you know how to reach out to them. So again, automation can help you with that. Number 8, using different systems will also create a miscommunication and confusion. If people are starting to receive notification from different systems, from different persons, with no centralization, this is going to create delays and confusion. So the recommendation here is try to use one communication platform for those critical situations. Number nine, what we see is that if there is no automation, by definition, this is going to take more time. And the great thing with automation is not only does it going to help save a lot of time across the different workflows, but also it is going to provide a consistent and repeatable way of communicating with all the stakeholders during those critical IT situations. So the recommendation here is try to automate your communication workflow so that people know exactly what to expect when they receive a notification. They also know exactly what they should be doing, and it's always going to be consistent, and therefore the workflows are going to be easier to enforce, and efficiency is going to be much greater. Same thing for escalation. Automation can help with escalation. I'm trying to reach out to a few people, then they do not answer their emails, they do not answer their call, they do not answer through the mobile application push notification. Automatic escalation will automatically reach out to the next person or the next group in line. And finally, last but not least, the number 10 reason why incidents are not resolved faster, post-mortem. What we see in many organizations is that they go through crisis management. So after a certain number of hours or days, sometimes they were able to fix the issue, and then they just forget about it. And what's very important in those situations is to do a post-mortem review. That's going to help you improve your processes and make sure that you don't keep running into the same issues. So post-mortem includes analyzing incidents and response through after-action reporting. Look into how people responded to the notification. Look at how they joined the call. Look at what communication path worked for them. Was it through email? Was it through a direct phone call? Was it through SMS? So on and so forth. Again, what is the most effective communication path for your organization, for your stakeholders? What about your customers? How fast and how fast were you able to contact your customers, your impacted customers, and let them know that there was an issue with IT and that IT was dealing with the issue, and that you let them know when everything is back up and running again? What was the benefits? How many calls into the help desk did you save? This kind of information. Find out how long it takes to get the confirmation from the subject matter experts or the on-call staff. So all this information is going to help you tweak and refine and optimize the process so that next time it happens, because with IT, it's not about if this is going to happen, it's about when, and next time you are better prepared. So these were the 10 reasons why incidents are not resolved faster. So hopefully this is helpful for you, and hopefully the recommendation that I gave you may help you and will help you refine your process, your resolution process. So in terms of key takeaways, again, if I summarize here, what you want to do, we want to quickly connect the right people with the right information so they can resolve IT issues faster and therefore minimize their impact on your business. To do so, initiate communication from the tools you're currently using. Your IT organizations are using a lot of tools. And what you want to do here is leverage those tools and get them integrated. Integrate on-call schedules and automatic escalations. Get a central repository where everybody's going to update their schedule, their shift, their rotation, so you know exactly who's on call for any type of incident. For specific application, you know exactly what the response team is. For if it's a server issue, if it's a database issue, if it's a web issue, and so on and so forth. By doing so, it will be very easy to identify who the right on-call persons are whenever something happens. Number 3, takeaway. Deploy easy-to-use collaboration tools. In those situations where every minute counts, people don't have time for sending GoToMeeting invitations, WebEx invitations. They need a very easy way to get on the first conference bridge. So find or leverage applications or solutions who are going to give you the ability to, in one click, jump on a conference bridge. So if I need to reach out to 15 people, automatically I can send out a notifications, which is going to be sent to the right on-call people, and in one click or one choice, if it's a voice, I can jump on a conference bridge and start working with the rest of the team. And all along the resolution process, remember to communicate with the IT teams, but also the stakeholders and all the impacted users. So who we are. Everbridge is a global provider of critical communication solutions. Was founded in 2002. We have offices and headquarters in Los Angeles, London, Boston, Beijing, and Germany. We have been recognized as a leader by Gartner for 11 years in a row. Very scalable platform, more than 2,700 customers today. Last year in 2015, the communication platform sent more than 1 billion messages, and we at the moment manage more than 100 million contacts being the people who are receiving those notifications. And with that, I want to thank you for your time today. And if you'd like to learn more or get more information about IT alerting and critical communications for IT, I invite you to log on to italerting.com. And if you remember at the beginning, I said that there would be a way to get a free cool T-shirt. That's where you'll be able to get that. But thank you again. And I think we now have a few minutes for questions. So if you have any question, feel free to post those questions in the question box that you should see on your screen. Yeah, and with that, it's going to be back to you, Denise.
Yes, great. Thank you, Vincent. Yeah, as Vincent said, do feel free to post those questions in the panel. I can just see a couple of questions that have come in, Vincent. So we have a question from Sarah who says, is there a recommended communication channel to contact your IT team?
Oh, that's a very, very good question. Actually, what you want to do is, as I've talked about the fact that emails don't wake up anybody, so you don't want to rely on one communication channel only. So you don't want, for example, to just send emails to everybody. same could apply to mobile application push notifications. You may not want to rely only on mobile app. So the recommended approach to reaching out to people is to use multi communication channels, not only one. So that includes SMS, that includes voice, that includes emails, and so on and so forth. And what you want to do is, if you are already using a communication platform, or if you're looking at using communication platform, what you'll do is you're going to define a cycle. So that means the system is going to start reaching out to people, to a specific contact through, let's say, SMS first. If the person doesn't respond to the notification, a few minutes later or 1 minute later, the system is going to start calling the person. If they don't answer the phone, the platform can send an email, and so on and so forth. So you can define cycles, and those cycles should include different communication channels to make sure, or to give the best chance to reach out to the person.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, is that okay? And just got another question that's just come in, and this question is, let me just read. So we've got a question here from David, and David says, actually it's 2 parts to the question, but David says, how does the pricing model work for alerting systems? Is that per user, per contact?
So David, yes, the pricing model is based per user. So yeah, the way it works is you identify the number of IT professionals that you have, and the license is going to be based on a number of users. Now, there's also a way to, if you need to contact your customers or stakeholders, or what we can call passive users, there's also a pricing for passive users who are going to only receive notifications. For example, if your company is a SaaS provider, so you're providing services through the internet, you have an issue with the platform, you may want to let your customers know that they may experience a degradation of service with the platform. So in this case, you just want to send notifications to passive users, because in this case, you don't expect the users to reply back to you. So, and we also provide licenses for passive users. So to answer your question, yes, pricing model is based on user and so number of users, and then within the number of users, there are active users, people who are going to actually work on fixing the issue, and passive users who are just going to receive notification that something's going on.
Okay, thank you. And we've got a follow-on question from that as well. David says, can you set the kind of alert each user wants in priority order?
Exactly. Yeah. That's a really good point, and thank you for asking this question, because I should have said it before. To be very efficient with notification, you want to let the user decide how he wants to be contacted, and that's what you want to do. So yes, the notification platform will let each individual user decide how they want to be contacted. For example, for me, I like to receive my alerts on my through the mobile application first, and then if I don't answer, I like to receive a voice, so a real call on my cell phone, and then my third channel is SMS. So this is how this is set up in the system for me. So first mobile application, voice, and then SMS. But yes, users should be able, and you want users to define the best way for them to be contacted. So they are part of the workflow, and they are accountable for responding to the notification and acting upon this notification.
Okay, thank you. And we've also got a question from Diane. So Diane says, for small local teams, do we really need a communication platform?
Oh, also a very good question, and I hear this question a lot. Organizations saying, you know what, we're a small team, or everybody's in the same building, so does it really make sense for us to get a communication solution? And the answer is going to be it depends. It depends on how big the impact on the business is anytime you have a critical IT issue. And the second question I'm going to ask, I usually ask these organizations, is what happens when a critical IT issue occurs during the night? Do you still have everybody you need in the same building, same location, so you don't need to reach out to people on the phone and or through other means? So if the answer is yeah, everybody, all the stakeholders and the IT experts and the impacted customers are in the same building, yeah, maybe you don't need that, but it's most likely that your customers are going to be outside of the building. Your stakeholders, the CMO, sometimes you need to reach out to the CEO, is going to be outside of the building. What we see a lot is with merger and acquisition, you can overnight have friends and colleagues in different countries, different time zone, and in this case, you're not very local anymore. So the recommendation is, even if you have a small team or just one location, it's most likely that if you want to be better at resolving incidents and minimizing the impact on your customers and your business, it's most likely that this could help you as well.
Okay, great. Thank you. I think that looks like that's the last of the questions. So thanks very much, everybody, for your interaction there and the questions coming in. Well, if everyone's done on the question front, then I think it's time for us to bring this to a close. So thank you once again to Vincent for a great presentation there. You can see, as Vincent mentioned, where you can find more information from italerting.com. And as a reminder, we are recording this webinar, so we will make the recording and the slide set available to you after the event. So do just give a little bit of time to prepare that for you, and we'll send it to you. So unless there's anything else, I think we will close the event, and thank you once again for attending.
Thank you. Thank you again. Have a good one.